And I think what pulls it all together is that no one person did any of that.
So he's sitting around on a June Thursday thinking about himself and his glory days. And to your point, Smug, I'm starting to warm up to Michelle Obama's POV. I mean, like, what does he do?
Shocking admission about the state of his marriage to Michelle. Go a little bit low, Rob, if you could. So everybody's wondering, like, you weren't there, Jimmy Carter funeral, you weren't there, Trump, Michelle I'm talking about. And then you start a podcast with your brother. Barack Obama makes shocking Michelle Obama. I was in deep deficit with my wife. He told Tepper, conversation Thursday. So I've been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally.
Okay, so Megyn Kelly and Patrick B. David just blew up Obama's clean image with secret homes and weird interviews, and now the whole liberal side is freaking out. And after this, you won't think of Obama the same way ever again.
The women who actually were the victim of repression and violence in Israel. No words for them. Former President Obama, nothing to say about the children being murdered in Israel. So far, I guess he couldn't find time to actually use his little thumbs and tweet something.
Obama's second term, he did none. Obama's first term, I think he did one. And Bush's first and second term, he did none on day one. This guy's come out the gates. One moment he's talking to World Economic Forum. Another second you're looking at him, he's talking to California, chewing out, Bass and Mayor Bass and talking to the folks there. Next minute he's in Vegas talking about no tax on tips. Next minute you're seeing him talking to military folks. Next minute you're...
Just when we thought we knew Obama, the truth came crashing out. Like, behind that smooth smile was the guy who gave us drones and detentions, and now podcast people with receipts are calling him out big time.
Crushing it on the tariffs, foreign policy, just got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. If not Trump, then who? Honestly. Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize after 9 months in office. He had done nothing. He gave a nice speech about Muslims and they gave...
If Obama was more of a brand, he'd have a QR code. He got everyone excited for change, but gave them the same old stuff, just looking nicer. And after all that talk about healthcare, you still end up with a Blue Cross flyer.
But yesterday's announcement that she won't be attending Trump's inauguration confirms something is definitely going on between her and Barack. She said whispers about cracks in their relationship have been circulating in D.C. for over a year now, but this feels like the first public proof of a marriage on the rocks. The question now isn't if, but when. If I had to guess, they will wait until after the inauguration to announce it. Timing, is everything. And yet the story doesn't end there. For months, I've heard Jennifer Aniston's name.
Patrick and Megyn went all in, showing Obama wasn't the hero folks hoped for. He didn't fix anything. He just gave us Netflix deals and rich buddies. Instead,
I wouldn't look at Obama one way or another. I would simply say, I get it. It's tough. Good, God bless. And don't forget, they were young presidents. They weren't old presidents. Yes. So it's a difference when you're a young president. When you're a young president getting out and you're a star power, like Netflix showing everywhere he goes and da-da-da-da-da, it's a different kind of a life.
This is the same guy who promised open government but kept everything locked up tighter than a secret club. Like, even the CIA looked more open. And when it came to holding Wall Street accountable, he just gave them a serious look and a fancy drink at a fundraiser, like nothing really happened.
There's a potential, maybe a divorce or some sort of rockiness going on in the Obamas' relationship. They both posted these mirrored, very choreographed Valentine's Day messages on X, but he was just seen at an LA, the basketball team, the Clippers, thank you, game without her. And then on Tuesday, he was spotted eating out at a fancy dinner in Sherman Oaks with his both daughters, Malia and Sasha. But again,
Obama got a peace prize before doing anything, and his foreign policy was a total mess, with Syria, Libya, and Iraq turning into disasters. He made big promises at home too, but even with full control of Congress, he acted like he needed permission to lead, like he forgot he was the one in charge.
What is the process of Nobel Prize? If he's able to do that, who nominates? Because most of the Nobel winners are on the left.
Nobel Prizes, you can go look this up, are given through an arcane nomination process, and they go into a back room and they decide who they're going to give it to. And the Nobel Peace Prize is basically a political football. You look around the world at people that have really caused peace, and you have Obama made a couple speeches as soon as he was inaugurated in 2009. Oh my goodness, we give it to for fostering an environment of peace.
Obama gave deep-sounding speeches that left people confused, raised taxes, and added stress. Patrick, Bet David and Megyn Kelly tore his image apart, showing he talked big but changed little. He sounded like Gandhi, but acted like Nixon left the country, looking the same, just with better phones and more online fights. He promised yes we can, but ended with never mind, and his legacy feels like an overpriced IKEA set, all style. No solution.
Which is enough money, according to the Obamas. 70 million? Because public reports estimate that is their net worth, parlayed on the back of Barack Obama's 14 years of holding political office. He did not spend 50 years in government service. He did a stint in the Illinois State Senate. He did a couple years in the U.S. Senate before he ran for office and won. All right, then he did 2 terms as president. And off of that, he's made himself over $100 million. Almost $100 million, probably over, to be honest. We don't know.
Obama made Wall Street super comfortable, while regular folks got nothing but a hang-in-there sign and a shiny coin. His money plan felt like, if you're rich, you're good. If you're not, well, too bad. He talked like change was coming, but kept everything the same. His whole presidency felt like a TED Talk full of big ideas and cool slides, but not much action. And when things went wrong, he just stayed calm, like someone who burns the kitchen, then offers marshmallows. He had a way of talking that sounded smart but meant nothing. He looked like a guy wanting change while making secret deals with powerful people. And that healthcare rollout was a total mess, like trying to stream Netflix with dial-up people. Got coverage, but also got dropped and tossed around like laundry. It felt less like help and more like paying extra to be stuck in the same broken system.
Or count them 4 luxury properties. A home in Martha's Vineyard, estimated to be worth some $20 million. In addition to properties in Washington, D.C., reportedly bought for $8.1 million, a beachfront home in Hawaii, reportedly bought for $8.7 million, and a home bought in Chicago for $1.65 million. Is that more than you need, Mr. Obama?
Obama's time in power felt less like a leader shaking things up and more like someone lighting a scented candle and hoping for the best. It was slow, smooth, and looked nice from far away, but when you really needed heat or light, it just wasn't there. He promised hope and handed the controls over to tech bros, hedge fund guys, and smooth-talking Silicon Valley dreamers who smiled while replacing your stable job with some app and swapped your retirement dreams for a never-ending gig hustle, and the media treated him like royalty, like he had invented intelligence or was writing history with every sentence. They praised every word while ignoring the stuff that actually mattered. Policies went untouched. Decisions were barely questioned, and people just went along with it because his words felt so calm, so reasonable, like he was gaslighting the whole country while sounding like your favorite teacher. He never had to shout because everyone else shouted for him. He mastered the art of staying cool, detached, and passive, like his whole leadership style was to do less, but make it look classy. And if inaction was a talent show, Obama would win every round and get his own wing in a fancy museum. And when it came to spying, he didn't just leave behind cameras. He built a full-on surveillance empire that watched you quietly, legally, and maybe even sent a thank you email for your cooperation. Guantanamo was still running, troops were still out there, lobbyists were still making money, and systems of power stayed untouched. But somehow, it all looked so smooth because Obama had that perfect image that made it all feel okay. His entire presidency felt like an Instagram feed full of filtered photos, nice lighting, and just enough distance from the truth to keep people from seeing how little actually changed.
Comes out. What's the name of that movie? Civil War. Leave the world behind. Our power grid in America hasn't been updated. 75% of it hasn't been updated in 50 years. And you're kind of talking about that. Then you're pinning whites against blacks. There's a line in the movie that says, Dad, you know, if something goes down, we can't trust these white people. I know that's something both you and Mom agree on. Why do you put that line in the movie, Barack? And you were helping with the script. Why would you put that in the movie? Why would you put that in the movie? Barack, weren't you the same guy that gave a talk at the DNC in 2004 about bringing people together? What happened?
Obama didn't ruin politics. He just made it stylish like an influencer who looked good. Said all the right things, but kept everything behind the scenes just as broken. Patrick and Megyn didn't hate. They just told the truth. He gave us nice speeches and calm vibes, but real action was missing. He launched drone strikes, spied on regular people, deported more than anyone, and still got love because he wore a nice suit and never shouted online like all that style made people forget what really happened.
Seize this moment. We have to use technology to open up our democracy. It's no coincidence that one of the most secretive administrations in our history has favored special interests and pursued policies that could not stand up to the sunlight. As president, I'm going to change that. We will put government data online in universally accessible formats. I'll let citizens track federal grants, contracts, earmarks.
Obama's whole legacy feels like one of those clickbait BuzzFeed posts that sounds deep but leaves you empty. After the headline, he said he'd change the system, but ended up becoming its smoothest talking rep. He wasn't the outsider people hoped for. He was the best-dressed insider ever. And when Megyn and Patrick brought the proof, it wasn't just criticism, it felt like release. Like finally someone saying out loud what everyone had been thinking, that behind all the speeches and smiles was a man who played it safe, packaged it nice, and passed the hard work to the next guy. He acted like he was writing a perfect memoir while in office, with every word rehearsed, every move planned, and every decision vague enough to stay safe. He didn't clean up Washington. He just took cute pictures of the mess and added a soundtrack. He didn't flip the script. He just made it sound cooler. He gave people the feeling of progress while quietly keeping everything the same. And by the time he left, the same broken system was even more locked in, just with better filters. Hope wasn't a plan. It was an aesthetic. And now that people who aren't blinded by speeches or magazine covers are finally calling it out, what's left is the hard truth. Obama was the most likable salesman the status quo ever hired, and we fell for it. Not once, but twice we fell for it.
You just said with the right initiative, and unfortunately, that initiative hasn't been forthcoming. And as a consequence, what's happening is, here's what's happening to ordinary families, because I know one of those boxes was, how does this affect you? The average family has seen their premiums double in the last 9 years. Costs for families are going up 3 times faster than wages. So if you're happy with your health care right now, and many people are happy with their health care right now, the problem is 10 years from now, you're not going to be happy because it's going to cost twice as much.
Not once, but twice. Like people at a fancy timeshare pitch getting free snacks and no way out. And while the whole country cheered like it was some big music festival, Obama quietly pushed policies that made even Big Brother seem shy and had Wall Street dancing with joy. He didn't fix the system. He dressed it up, gave it a slick speech, and made everyone feel smart while getting played. He walked out of office with a Peace Prize, some trendy playlists, and a country where the rich got richer, but somehow people still act like he was a wise king, above all the mess, when really he just said yes. We can then handed you a broken fax machine to figure it out yourself. So when Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David start tearing down the fantasy, it's not hate, it's doing the world a favor. Because somebody had to finally admit that behind the cool speeches and stylish playlists was just another smooth politician who smiled while the swamp only got worse.